It's the big. I gotta get some water.
All right, we're
Get my
about to go
water.
on.
Well, I gotta get some water. Hold on. You can go ahead record. I'm getting some water.
I am recording. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Where'd she go?
Anyway, she went to get some water.
Oh my God.
She waited all this time.
We was sitting here for 15 minutes. She ain't say one thing about
Ain't
water.
said near nutta word.
LaShawn.
Anyway, it's the Hey Girl Hey podcast. Hey girl, hey.
Girl, hey.
It is the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media today. I'm your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
Oh, wait. I heard her. I heard her say, I'm coming. We'll wait for her on this part. Are you there?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, anyways, I am y'all millennial chick, Jeer.
Who is super famous, by the way. Jeer is super famous. I don't think anybody knows our names, but they all know Jeer's name.
Hey.
Jeer. And you say it just like that. Jeer just celebrated her dirty 30. Happy 30th, babes.
Hey, turn out, and I feel so old.
I'm tired of you saying that because here's the thing. When you say 30 is old and we're not 30, we're beyond 30. Like that is just super disrespectful. Like it's super disrespectful. Anyway, we have the chatter chick checking in. She had to get some water. She waited until we had to go on live to get up and get some water. This is what I'm talking about. Disrespectful. I love her to death. Chatter chick just does what she wants. She don't care. She
runs.
Here she go. Look, she just come in whenever she wants.
What happened? What? What you talking about? I had to get some water. I ain't even have no water in my refrigerator. I only had like some coolers in the Corona. I almost came on with that. Like, no, I don't think that's cool.
You know, we gotta have juice boxes.
Yeah, I know. So I found the little spigot.
Introduce yourself, woman.
Hi, I'm the chatter chick. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Good to see everybody.
Did you hear your millennial chick say we're dirt? Because she said she's 30 and she's old, so we're like dirt. Like we're like tells her the crit old.
Yeah, Jerry, you be disrespectful on a couple levels.
So disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
You guys, nuh-uh. No.
What you mean?
Anyway,
we old.
Yeah, we already have old ears.
Yeah.
You know what? I won't be mad. I'm not mad really because I do have old bones. Believe me, I make noise when I get up and when I sit down.
No, I don't.
I do. Yes, you do.
I ain't making no noises like sitting down and getting up, but you know what
I feel it coming. I'll be like,
right. I told somebody, I was like, listen, I ain't dating no dude that got to get up on the ones and twos. You know, they be 1, 2. I'm not dating that dude. I can't do the ones and the twos. So like, you gotta still jump up. I can still jump up. I need you to do that too, boo.
You might have to get your little 20-year-old.
Well,
you don't want to do a 30-year-old because they're old.
They're old. 30-year-olds
both filling out AARP applications. He's 30.
Woo, man.
You go to movies with them, they be like, yo, can I get your discount, your AARP?
That's so
like,
no,
that's so boy, the movie's only $4.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Discount.
That's a shame. All right, it's the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media today. We have a special guest who'll be checking in today. Lytia Brock, that's her name. Lytia Brock has a lot of hats. She is a singer. She is she's a photographer. She is a life coach. Oh my gosh. And she's also a CEO. She has a nonprofit organization, and that nonprofit organization is called the Robinson Foundation. And she's going to tell us about that. And she's also going to the Richardson Foundation, not Robinson, excuse me. And then she's going to share with us a story about the untimely death of her brother. And she really is limited with providing information, but the focus is that when you have a loved one that is incarcerated, the care is not there. And so when things happen, if your loved one who's incarcerated falls ill, or if they die, the family is left with so many questions left unanswered. And so, she is now in search of those answers. So we're going to talk to her during the second half. So Lytia should be checking in shortly. We're gonna check out hot topics right now, and then cover some Who the F Cares news. So LaShawn, you might not know this because you don't check your Facebook page as often, but Facebook is now going to be called Meta.
Okay.
Meta, like Meta World Peace.
Meta World Peace.
Not owned by Meta World Peace. Mark Zuckerberg just announced that he's changing Facebook's company name to Meta. It's in an effort to rebrand the company. It's going to be the name, the Meta will be the name of the umbrella company of the apps Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, which I use all of them. Zuckerberg said in his announcement, "I've been thinking a lot about our identity as we begin this next chapter. Facebook is one of the most used products in the history of the world. It is an iconic social media brand, but increasingly, it just doesn't encompass everything that we do." My translation to that, we've been getting a lot of problems from people. People have been wanting to come at us in lawsuits and stuff. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to change our name and then hope that nobody knows it's us.
Yeah, you change your name, you go underneath a different umbrella, different cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's big business. Big business.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
so
it just sounds let's go on Meta. Like, no, I don't like it. And not that he cares about my opinion, but it just, I don't know.
I mean, can you just let's use Meta in a sentence. So we say, hey, so what's your Meta?
Did you see this on Meta today?
Oh, I was following you on Meta.
Log on Meta and you'll be able to find me. You know what I'm saying?
Find me on Meta. I'm on Meta. What's your Meta?
Yeah. That's a new word. I mean, I can hear when I hear you guys saying it, and I hear it. Yeah, people are going to be using it. Yep. I don't see anybody dropping Facebook. That's why it's a multi-billion trillion dollar thing. The thing is to right now buy some stock in Meta. I'm on it. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because they're just in a lot of hot water with the political ads and the
that's why he's moving to Meta,
and then the problems that they're facing. It's still the same company though. So
he's trying to tell any of his stockholders something's going to be changing with that. So get out of that Facebook, move over to
I just
Meta.
want an 800 number. I just want customer service. Can we just get a customer service number?
You're not going to do that on Facebook.
That's not.
They would have a customer service number.
I just want a customer service number. I don't care what your name is. Your name could be SpaghettiOs. Can we get an 800 number, Mr. SpaghettiOs? Can we just get an 800 number? That's all I want. Because I want to know why I can't boost my posts.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I thought you would be able to boost it. I don't know nothing about that. Yeah, I don't care. Meta.
Okay, so while we ponder on that, let's talk about Caitlyn Jenner. She's in the news, and she's coming to the rescue of comedian Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle last week was in hot water after his Netflix special, The Closer, and him allegedly coming after the LGBTQ plus community, where they've threatened to leave, they've threatened to sue, and they wanted him canceled. Caitlyn took to Twitter, because that's what you do.
Right.
It says Dave Chappelle is 100% right. This isn't about the LGBTQ movement. It's about woke cancel culture run amok, trying to silence free speech. We must never yield or bow to those who wish to stop us from speaking our minds. And he has responded to his critics and said that he would speak to the trans community, but he will not be summoned. He's like, I'm gonna listen to y'all, but y'all not gonna tell me what to do. So, and he's saying that he understands that they're upset, but these are just jokes. Like,
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
funny. Me and my mom was talking about this earlier today, and she had said how everything now is like so sensitive. She said back in the day, when Richard Pryor would make his jokes about so many things, like people wouldn't say nothing.
Yeah.
Red Fox, Dick Gregory, that's what it was.
But
Richard
those were
Pryor.
comedians. Like comedians would say
Dave
something,
Chappelle's
we
a
thought
comedian.
it's a
right?
comedian. You know,
Mhm.
now we're so sensitive about everything. When it comes to comedians, I really think it's like they can say what they want because they're funny.
Yeah. And they're
And
funny.
he even had the LBGTQ plus community laughing whenever he did the show. He talked
Right.
about everybody. They were in there cracking up because sometimes the comedian's jokes have some truth in it and makes you look at it. You'd be like, oh. And Dave
Because
Chappelle
they're
is
observers. They're
right.
observers. All they do is
Exactly.
observe stuff. Yep.
And Dave
And they
Chappelle
tell the
is one
stories.
comedian that tells pretty much the truth on a lot of stuff that he says. And I'm like, oh yeah, because he's a smart comedian.
Mhm.
So
He-
yeah, I'm like, when you stop comedians from telling jokes, then
It's
come
gonna be
on.
a boring world.
It's
It is
yeah.
going to be a
What's the
super
point?
boring world.
The point of it, you know, like that's what we want to hear. And sometimes those jokes, you know, they can be a little, you know, rude or nasty or whatever, but that's the job. You know what I'm saying? That's part of being that's what a
Mhm.
true comedian
That's
is.
a
You know,
comedian.
they do.
Yeah.
You're like, come on. I don't think
You're
it's
silencing comedians.
I don't know, like you said, it's gonna be boring. When am I gonna sit there
Yeah.
and talk? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, like Dave Chappelle said, you can come at little the baby who murdered somebody in Walmart and not touch his career, but have him say something about somebody doing something in a car and you catch AIDS and he's canceled. He's not really canceled though. I think this attention actually sparked his reputation just a little bit. So, you know, Dave Chappelle has always been that person. He's always been that comedian. And I was talking to a comedian yesterday, Dave Bracy, I believe, and he has a podcast. I have to pull it up, but he has a podcast and he was just saying it's really hard being a comedian. If you are a successful comedian, like at a super level, like a high level, you have a stronger influence where, you know, people will try harder to knock you off that post. Whereas him either starting up, well, he's like mid-level, he's pretty popular in certain circuits, but people have tried to knock him off. And it's just like, why are you wasting all this energy trying to get me? You know what I'm saying? Like there are other people, but some people do it so that they can shine just from their efforts of trying to knock that person off. And so like we're doing anything for the meta.
Yeah. It's sad. For the meta.
We're doing anything for the meta. We're doing anything for the meta. So I was trying to use it in a sentence. It still didn't work.
That didn't work, Kiki.
Right.
But that's a good try.
No, and it's just Dave Chappelle gonna be, and I love how unbothered he is with this. He is like, you know, like whatever, like it is what it is. I mean, I guess that's good to talk to people, but like, silence me. You know, I still stand by what I said. I'm a comedian. This is a job. You know, like it is what it is. You know, it's that life. You know what I mean? Like there's people who've done way worse things, like you said, and we haven't canceled them with it. You know what I mean? People still is on R. Kelly's with everything. You know what I mean? People still buying and listening to his music and, you know, standing out there supporting him with all the stuff he did. And so it looks dope. Like, come on now. Like it
right. Well, it'll die over. I was actually surprised that Caitlyn Jenner defended him because she's running for governor, I hear, of California. And so, you know, that's one thing you don't want to lose is the LGBTQ vote, the Black vote, the Hispanic vote, and the LGBTQ plus community vote. So if she's still running for government or governor of California, you know, I would love to see how that.
She wants everybody to work together and be a team. You know, I get it. And that's the way it should be. I think so. I don't know. I like whenever the comedians roast each other. You ever see that when they roast people?
I
Oh
love
my God,
Man,
it's
you
so
talk about
hard to
some
watch.
hard stuff.
It is so
Like, are
hard
we
to
going to stop?
watch.
We're going to take those away, those roasts away? Because
Oh,
I mean, they get so downright dirty. I'm like, oh, that's so mean, but it's
uh,
funny, you know.
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
super
Like
yeah.
we're just so
Oh my
sensitive.
gosh.
Like,
Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, people
Yeah.
they fight you over mama jokes. Like you can say something about my mother, right? My mother's gone. She's been in glory for a long time. You can say something about her, but that ain't gonna hurt me because I know who my mom was, and I know
Mm-hmm.
who my dad was. So I'm not gonna fight you over that.
mm.
I
Like,
would.
look, you just gotta show them something different.
I
You say
would.
that, I'm gonna show you
But
something
I
different.
get it.
You say something about my people, I'm gonna show you something different about my people. This is not
Right.
how we get down. Ain't no
Right.
more that cancel. Tell Fred to shut up. We ain't gonna do no more that cancel
He's
culture stuff.
actually on an interview too. Sorry.
I was looking. I
Yeah.
was like, that sound.
Urban Media Today Talk Sports is coming up next, but Trevin is actually on another interview, so that's why
He's all
I
loud.
know
Like,
I didn't know
shut
you could
up
pick him up. I didn't know you could pick him up.
all day long.
So I'm just gonna bring my mic closer. I don't know if that'll
Bring
make
your
any
mic
difference.
closer.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
I did.
okay, so Jada Pinkett Smith does it again. She opened her mouth and she talked about her relationship, actually their sexual relationship with her husband Will Smith on the Red Table Talk Wednesday's episode, a conversation about having discussions with your partner about sex, and discussed how many people grew up with the thought about talking with the thought that talking about sex was taboo. She mentioned that she and Will have been together since their 20s, and that she had the philosophy about sex: if you love me, then you should know what I want. I get that statement. A lot of websites created headlines like Jada Pinkett Smith reveals why it's difficult to maintain a sex life with Will Smith. I don't think that's what she meant.
Yeah.
She took to Twitter and said, only because I have time today, stop making up headlines. Watch the Red Table Talk I did with Gwyneth Paltrow for yourselves. Will and I never had an issue in the bedroom. So Gwyneth Paltrow is actually, I believe she either wrote a book or she has a sex toy line. I saw her talking to Savannah Guthrie about this on the Today Show, and it was so awkward and uncomfortable to watch, but because it's Today Show and Savannah Guthrie's like, oh my God, I have two small children. So, but they're
How did
they're
they get
talking
here?
about sex. And I'm still a prude in a way, but when you talk about sex, it is healthy conversation because you're learning things. And so when you listen to Angela Yee's podcast, oh God, like I blush just thinking about it. But it is healthy to have conversation, especially with other women who may be your age, and you can learn something from them and they can learn something from you. And you hear yourself and you feel kind of silly having those thoughts that you have, like, damn, I didn't really think that this was that, or I was that way. But then when you think about Will Smith, you're like, Will Smith? Like, I thought he would break backs in the
So did
Mm-hmm.
she say he was a
clearly
bad
not.
lover, or
I
is simply
No,
because
that
they've been
she said they
together
have
for?
no problems. I think that someone
they twisted her words basically.
twisted her words. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I get
I'm
what
a mute. Y'all go ahead and talk.
I didn't really get a chance to catch the show, the interview, but from reading what she had tweeted and just going back and doing a little bit of research, I understand what she means by that. Like because automatically you would think when you're with your partner, they love you, you love them, and you communicate that with them, they should automatically get it, right? That's how I think. And that has happened with me too. Automatically, I thought, oh, he's gonna understand, he's gonna get it. And he didn't, you know what I mean? So it's like, unfortunately, you have to keep repeating yourself. So even in a marriage of someone that you've been with, like with Jada and Will for 20 something years, and it can be rough. So I get what she meant by that. I don't think she meant like, oh, sex is what Will is bad. This is why I went off with August Alsina or something like that. And I think that's where they was trying to, stir a little bit of the pot up, but I don't think that's what she meant. And because I've been there before and with someone who I wasn't with for that long. So I get what she's saying, but people go on, like I said, twist up her words and, because she had that fling with August and the whole stuff with Tupac, they going to make it look bad. But I understand you, Jada. I get what you're saying, boo. I get it.
What you
Give her a
got? What you
call
got,
later,
Chatter
Jerry.
Chick?
Give
I'm
her a
gonna
call
call her
later.
later. Yeah.
I just think it's funny, like people who bring up their whole sex lives. And I know it's a talk show, and we have one here. And so I don't think everything's everybody's business. And then if you're in a relationship with somebody, you're telling your side and not their side. I think that's a little bit too much. So but to get back to what Jada was saying, like, I mean, if you got to communicate everything in a relationship, how you feel, if this makes you mad, if this makes you happy, if this, so sexually you still got to have the same conversation. So I get what she's saying. She just didn't have. She's telling people in relationship, have the conversation. You can't assume that just because you've been with them and you did the loud screaming that they're thinking, oh, they're, breaking down walls. But if you don't tell them, like, I want this is what I require. You got to, in relationships, you got to do that, period. So, just because it's Jada and she talks and she's a talker, they take everything she says, everything, and they're going to put it against Will. Now, Will could probably be like the worst lover, but it's her man. She can be with him as long as she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible and all.
I can't see neither one of them as bad in bed.
Did you say neither one of them? Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It has to be a type thing. Like, Will wouldn't be my type. I'd be like, oh my God. Like, no. Oh.
Clearly, you have not seen him in the shower scenes.
Yeah. I know the other week I was watching the show Ready for Love or something with nephew Tommy. This woman got on there and talking about somebody saying they're in a relationship and they talk one part of the other person's side. They talk their side, not the other person. So it said that she was married before. Now she's a divorcee, and it had her name there. And she kept on saying, I know one thing I don't want in a relationship. I will never, and this is her, not me. So people don't take this little clip and take this little part of the clip and say, Sean said this. She said, I will never date a guy with a small penis. And she kept saying it over and over again. And I thought, they put underneath your name that you're divorced. You're sending out a message to your ex-husband, like, because she kept saying, I will never do that again. And that's,
he was like, I'll never do it again, Peter. Yeah, Peter with the little wiener.
Yeah, Peter all she had to do wiener. Is she should have just put his name in there. Exactly, Kiki. She said, I will never. Like, she just kept saying it, and I said, I know whoever knows him and her. No, yeah, she's talking about you, dude. You just blew the whole set for the dude and everybody else. But it's not always about that. I mean, love is love. Small penis and everything.
Okay. Speaking of penises, 1 out of every sexually active people will end up with an STD by the age of 25. Most will not have any symptoms. This segment is brought to you by the Allegheny County Health Department. Make sure you know your status. Get tested. You can call 412-578-8081. Like, LaShawn was like, what? What's happening?
I was like, what? Make sure they no shame.
Are we running a PSA right now?
Yeah, thank you, Allegheny County.
Listen to shout out to the Allegheny County Health Department, because I was talking to Valerie Starworth, and we got to get her on the show. Numbers have increased.
Absolutely.
With STDs, STIs, HIV cases, particularly here in Allegheny County. Young people and seniors. Wow. Seniors, definitely. So we're going to get Valerie Starworth on the show and just talk about that, because that's a serious thing. You need to get tested. It's 2021. Go and get that ass tested.
Just go in there.
Say that, Kiki.
Go get that ass tested.
Go use condoms, please.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It's 2021. It is 2021. Like, come on.
Yeah. So, people still looking at people like, oh, he's cute. Oh, she's cute. For real? That's what you're going by, cuteness? Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So we got you.
And Who the F Cares News, the AKAs are upset. They are big mad at HBO and the Insecure series for using their logo without their permission. It was a fallout of last episode's Insecure. Okay, so Amanda Seales, I forget the name of her character, but she plays an AKA. She's always played an AKA. Even in the first series, the first season, she even did like the AKA and the call. And I think either she and Molly are sorority sisters, or she and another character are sorority sisters. But for this particular episode, Amanda Seales' character was like really repping, AKA like everything. She had pink and green purse, pink and green suit. And so the executive director of the Divine Night organization of the AKAs released a statement saying that they're going to deal with the situation and encourage members not to speak on it any further. The issue is not the wearing of the colors pink and green, but the issue is wearing of the shield. Now, being a representative or being a member, a financial member of the Zeta.
Yeah, you
Phi
have to
Beta,
put that in there, financial.
yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah.
Being a financial member of the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, you have to be protective of your shield for copyright. And, it's a shield. So we have to protect it. And so there are things that you can use publicly, but you have to ask for their permission. I mean, I didn't see any fault if she was repping Zeta, like if she was a Zeta, which I never see celebrities rep Zeta. They always rep AKAs or Delta, and I have a problem with that, but that's another show. So anyway, if she was repping Zeta, I'd be like, do it right. Do it right. Mm-hmm. Be finer. Even if you got a fake finer, be finer at all times. Be right. Do it right. But I think one person got upset and then started all this beef and heat and all that. So we're going to see if Amanda Seales' character loses her letters in the next episode.
I think it's
a Delta next episode.
Yeah, she's going to change up. She might just be a Zeta. You don't know.
She might be a Zeta.
She might come out.
I'm a caller and just tell her, just put on some royal blue.
I think exposure. Would be. That's a good thing. She hasn't did nothing ratchet. She hasn't done anything. There are some ratchet AKAs. There's some ratchet sorority. Period. So she hasn't done any of that. But I understand the whole thing.
They ain't ratchet.
Well, yeah. So I get it. And then because you can't wear, like, it's like any other organization that you can't wear like NFL stuff that has NFL shield on it if you're on television. Like, you can wear the Steelers stuff, but you just can't do the NFL stuff on there. But you can wear a Steelers shirt all day long. So if she wanted to wear pink and green, fine, and then didn't say anything about the organization, that's fine. Do what you do. But that was nice of her to have a character and have the hey lady, and have a character on there with a sorority representing a Black sorority. That was nice of her.
I thought so. I thought it was a compliment, but
take it off. It's okay. Wear a different color. Wear whatever color you want.
I'm gonna send her some para. I'll make sure I don't have a shield on it. I'm gonna just send her some para.
It's not about the color, because then people be like, if you wear pink and green, you can't wear the color. Like, come on, don't stop that. Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That ain't cute.
So we have company. We got company.
Hey, company.
Hey, company. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Mama. I'm a mute because I have voices in the background. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Hello, ladies, and hello to all the viewers. I'm Lytia S. Brock. I'm happy to be here tonight.
All right.
Welcome.
Happy to have you, sis. Happy to have you. So we're still wrapping up Hot Topics. We got 3 more minutes, and then we're going to shine a spotlight on Lytia. So R. Kelly is in the news. He's still serving his time. Well, it means he may have to give up his Grammys. And so that was the issue. And so according to the Chicago Sun-Times, the Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason stated that R. Kelly can keep his awards. He's going to need to sell something to pay off his lawyers.
Pretty much.
So why can't he have his Grammys?
You may gotta sell them things.
He might have to sell those things. And if you don't remember why he got the Grammys, he won 3 Grammys. He only has 3. Best Male R&B Vocal Performer, Best R&B Song, Best Song Written for a Movie Picture, Television and Visual Media. I Believe I Can Fly, back in 1998. He only got 3.
I don't know why I thought he had like 8 or 9.
You sure he only? It seemed like he have a lot, because we've been jamming to his music for a long time.
Still is.
Still, yeah. I feel some kind of way though. I'd be like, oh no, turn that off, you know.
Y'all be like, step in the name of love.
Yeah. You be on the floor like, oh, okay, I'm good.
No.
Yeah.
Step, dip.
But shoot, that I believe I can fly was a tearjerker, man. Like, I used to hear that at funerals and stuff.
After every kindergartner graduation, I was over it. I was like, okay, you can't fly, little Ray Ray. Listen,
Yeah,
it's not working.
I think somebody sung that. I believe my cousin said that at my father's funeral in 1997, and he was like, "You got your wings," and he started singing, "I believe I can fly." He tore that song up, and then R. Kelly comes on. I'm like, "How you gonna take Daddy's song?" But you know, it is what it is. Like, let him have his. Let him have his. I heard a toilet flush. Did somebody just flush the toilet?
That's my seat. Shut up, you with your super ears. Damn, you hear everything.
I was like, Kiki, you just flushed the toilet?
That was my seat.
I
we
saw
gotta wrap up.
Lytia's thing was dark. I was like, oh, she didn't went to the bathroom. Forgot. Oh God, Jesus,
Wendy
take the
Williams'
whole.
ex-husband.
No, I ain't in the bathroom. I'm here.
You're here.
Got engaged.
I thought heard a toilet flush. I was like, oh, she didn't went to the bathroom. Jesus. The toilet, Jesus.
No, I went before I got on.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you.
Because I'll be getting off in the middle because I gotta go. But that's the difference. Go ahead. What happened to Wendy Williams' husband?
Wendy Williams' ex-husband is engaged to his side chick. Shantae Moore and Stephen Hill are now engaged. This is who the F cares news. Nobody really cares.
Who is
Nene is Stephen Hill was the owner of BET. Right.
Yeah, him.
Right. Shantae's got a man. Nene's upset with Real Housewives of Atlanta because the girls pitched in $200 to buy her flowers for Greg's funeral, and Cynthia didn't call her until a week after the funeral. Excuse me, Nene. That mean they don't like you.
Nene.
Hey, Nene, let me talk to you. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. You ain't got no friends, sis. You ain't got no friends.
Just stop, Nene.
That's all.
Just
you ain't got no friends. You ain't got no friends.
You know,
she might need a life coach.
She does. She does. You just calling out people. You calling out people for $200. I'm not.
They got money. They working. He. Why we? That's why it's called Who the F Cares News.
Flowers.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I don't care, Nene. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna take a quick break.
Somebody didn't call you 2 weeks. You ain't the one that jumped on the line, be calling people. Get your life, girl. Get your life. I don't know.
Okay.
Tell Fred to shut up.
Okay, he's doing an interview. I don't know why.
All right, go ahead.
Right now. Anyway, why he would do an interview right now, I don't know.
I know.
So we have Lytia Brock on, and she is the founder of the Richardson Foundation. So she's going to talk to us about that, and then she's going to share some information about the untimely death of her brother. She's going to give us a backstory on that, and I believe that a lot of us can relate to her story. So hopefully we can offer some comfort and also some information on how to help her. So if that's how the Spirit's going to lead us, we're going to do that. So we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to press mute while you count to 5. It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media today. LaShawn, that's on you. Hey Girl Hey.
Hey.
It is the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media today. We have Lytia Brock, who is the founder of the Richardson Foundation, and she's going to talk to us about being the CEO of the Richardson Foundation. Like Lytia wears a lot of hats. Like I said, she's a singer, she's a photographer, an author, a life coach. I think she'd be doing hair and nails. I think she got like
maybe frying chicken in the back of the kitchen.
Chicken in the bag.
She got multiple jobs. Go ahead, Lytia.
Lytia was like, "I'm gonna be on the show." I was like, "What are we talking about?" Because
what you didn't do? What you didn't do?
Y'all are giving me life tonight. Y'all really are.
You know I love you, sis. Lyty's in the building. What up, Lyti?
Y'all are something else. And yes, I will be frying chicken in the spring. So look out for that. That'll be
Yes, will you make plates?
I don't make plates. I do have a company, Loose Leaf Tea and Food.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't. I just can't. I can't do this. I can't. I can't.
See.
Ain't nobody fix it. Look, let me say this because I know there's a lot of people that watch and that listen. I do want to say, no, I'm not selling plates.
No.
Let's put that out there. Don't try
No
to get me
plates.
shut down before I get started. Let me be great.
No,
Be great.
Lytia-
Well, how did
Lytia
we
be
get
like,
to chicken though,
wait,
Lytia?
we're not talking about chicken. We're not talking about
I'm
chicken.
hungry.
We're
Like,
not
how we
talking
get
about
to
It's
chicken.
Nourish LLC. Go on the Nourish LLC page. You'll see some holiday specials.
This
but
will be not. We're not doing
What's
this.
that? What's that on? What's that? Facebook?
It is on Facebook.
She's on the
And it's on my website.
It's on Meta. It's on Meta.
It's on Meta. Oh, so I want the
Wait.
$5 for $1 wing.
Oh no, we don't do that.
You ain't got no wings on it?
Not no $5 for no $1.
That's the special I'm looking for. That's the one I'm.
Oh, well, I apologize.
She looking for them. Look, she looking for them hook and fish wings.
You looking
I
for
don't know.
the after service
Looking for them
special? I've been in the
pigeons.
church all my life. That is an after service special.
That's the after service, yeah. Yes, can I get the after service? Come on now,
with the
praise
bread
the
and the
Lord.
pot. I don't offer that.
Yes.
Are we
Well,
done?
I'll hold off, but I'll get them wings.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
You know I'm hungry. I
Anyway,
just got off for work. I'm hungry.
Lytia, I need you to talk to us about the Richardson Foundation and what the Richardson Foundation is, and then share the story about your brother, who just recently passed away. Okay, I'm gonna press mute. You go ahead.
Okay, it's still fresh. I'll start with the Richardson Foundation first. The Richardson Foundation was formerly known as my nonprofit, Cloaked in Favor. So the Richardson Foundation is going to take over the work that I've been blessed to do for the last 10 years. That's the back to school events. That's our annual Christmas party. We've been featured in the Courier. We've been featured on the news, just being able to bless people. One thing, and I mentioned it before, my dad's a pastor, but one thing that always touched me was that before Jesus did a lot of his miracles, he touched the natural needs of people. It's easy to get to Jesus when you got Pampers for your babies, when you got milk, when you have gas money for your car, when you have a car. I've been blessed in my journey to connect with the Barco Foundation. I was a single mother at that time of 2 children, didn't have a car, was in school full time, and didn't know how I was going to get around. And they actually blessed me with my dream car at the time, which was a Dodge Intrepid. And that touched my heart. So I knew from there, I said, I need to give back. And that started my mission with Cloaked in Favor. Over the years, I knew I wanted to change the dynamic as God continued to bless me. I wanted to be a blessing to other people. So the Richardson Foundation was birthed in honor of my grandmother. That is her maiden name. So that's our family name. If I got any cousins out there, hey, Richardsons. But the Richardson Foundation is going to do just that. Help those mothers, help those parents, help, those families that are in need. Sometimes the need isn't always food. I was a single mother and still a single mother of 5 now. And people always assume, y'all hungry? No, we ain't hungry. We got the food part covered. Sometimes you do need that little bit of money to make it through the week with gas. Sometimes you need a little help making, getting uniforms, things of that nature. So we're going to go more so towards philanthropy and the financial aspects of help than the resources that we provided in the past. So we're doing a launch 2022, spring of 2022. We'll be doing our official launch to just let people know, hey, we're here. We've changed the name, but we're still doing the same mission, and let people know how they can get connected.
And this serves just the Pittsburgh metro area, or does it just serve anyone in need?
Ultimately, the place that I feel God has called me to is Homewood. I'm from Homewood, so the east side. But our church, my father's church, is over in Belsuver. I do travel. Cloaked in Favor has been blessed to help those in Ghana, India, Pakistan most recently. In Ghana, we'll actually be building a resource center. And then here, I'm looking for a space and building of my own. I'm grateful to my children because they have accommodated mommy so many times. They would come home and there's boxes of all kind of stuff. For the last 2 Christmases, we gave away Christmas trees. So we spent, the last couple months of the year tripping over trees. So we need a space. That's my goal, to get a building where I can house all of this stuff and don't have to do it out of the living room, out of the dining room. I'm grateful, but I've outgrown my home to be able to do this type of work.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's
That's awesome.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Really, really nice.
So your good friend Ashley Moorfield checked in. And she's someone that is so close to you, and you all share a story similar. And that's how you build your ministries. You have to be tested through the testimony. You have to walk through it. I can't believe anything you saying if you don't have cuts on your feet, if you don't have blisters and calluses and stuff like that. I can't believe it. If your nails are clean, I don't believe that you share a story. So I definitely am going to pray for you and continue to support you in every way. You know that, you already, girl, you are
No,
already.
she's on it, you guys. It's not like that word that you hear from people that says, "Oh, I got your back." No, Kiki really shows up. She's very present.
Yeah.
She was a mentor to my daughter. My daughter was in I had a daughter in phase one. I had a daughter in Westinghouse Middle School. She's very good at keeping her word, and I appreciate that.
No problem. No problem. So this is the time we're going to change. Tell us what's on your heart.
So honestly, I don't want to focus too much on the cause at this time because we don't know the actual cause. But unfortunately, on October 16th, I did bury my little brother. And I say little brother, even though he's taller than me and much bigger and bulkier than me. He was 31 years old. And I'm grateful to say that within the last years of his life, this year especially, he had changed his life. But it was an untimely death. I talked to my brother September 25th, and by September 29th, we had gotten word that he passed and found out that he actually passed on the 27th. So there's still a lot of questions that we don't have answers to, but I want to focus on my brother's legacy. My brother was my father's namesake. He started a record company. I was able to help him publish his book. And just to give a little backstory, because I know it's going to be for those that know and for those that will see, future posts. My brother was in and out of jail from a young age, and he did end up turning his life around. But if you would Google, you're like, oh, well, he had run-ins with the law. But I do believe that people can change. During the last, I'll say 6 months of his life, he did join the labor union. He's always written. And for those of us that have had loved ones in the prison system, we know sometimes it's a revolving door. They come home, they do well for a while, they go right back. But this time it was something different. I could see it in his eyes. He was motivated. He was working towards a goal. And ultimately, he left Pittsburgh for the weekend, we thought. And when he left, we got word that he got into some trouble. We heard from him briefly. And then my father got a call saying that my brother had passed away. So I've asked people on social media, and of course, I've heard so many things. Pittsburgh is so small. I say it all the time. I've heard how my brother has died. I've heard people's speculations. I get the how'd he go? At this time, I'm asking people to just be calm with us, pray with us. If you can't do nothing else, pray for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Don't ask people when you see something, sometimes it's hard to find out on social media, but when you see something on social media, everything is not for you to respond on, to message about, to assume about, to make up stories about, because right now we are taking the time to grieve, pray, and prepare, to figure out how he truly passed. But one thing I wanted to focus on with his life, my brother, while he was in jail this past time, I was blessed to be able to publish his book through my publishing company. One of many. The first book was Amber Learns the Alphabet. So I published that book, but having the task of cleaning out his townhome, I found other books, of course, that I knew he had, poems, programming, a nonprofit that he wanted to start himself. And I get to that point because I'm a certified life coach. And I get to that point where I'm like, you know what, God, why? You get to that point where you've coached other people through their hurt. And now I'm just like, Lord, why now? Because he seemed like he was on the right path. But I want people to know that I'm not going to birth his nonprofit because I can't assume that work. I've never been in jail. Knock on wood. I'm never going, down for any crimes or anything of that nature. So I don't know that life. I do a lot of work, with the prison system. But my goal is to incorporate some of the ideas that he had for those that are coming home that have been incarcerated. I don't know about anybody else. If we're being honest, anybody that knows and watches me, I'm an honest person. I've dated men who have been in the prison system. It's a hard thing to do at times, to come home after being locked up for 10, 20, 5, 8, 2 years, and you're thrown back into everyday life. A lot of people do not bounce back. Through Cloaked in Favor, we sent materials. I sent my first book to Arizona, and it just struck me. I said, grown men are sitting there reading my book on lemons and working through the exercises. I always try to also bring to light that people in prison, people in jail, it's not that they're horrible people. Yes, people have committed crimes. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm not dismissing that at all. Some folks need to be, institutionalized, handle whatever they need to handle. But I do believe there should be plans, classes, things in place to help people.
Absolutely.
Help.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm on.
Yep.
That's what I'm on. Focusing on my brother's legacy, more so the past. I want to rest in the present and then incorporate some of the things that he had for those that have been in prison. I don't want to throw people away. You come home and it's like, here you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's the numbers. It's the numbers game. It's the numbers with the money, the numbers with the population. It definitely has something to do with the numbers. It's not about the person and the person's life and the families that they have that are attached. Because when you see a lot of these instances that happen to the inmates when they're incarcerated, even the reaction from people, it's like, well, and it's like, that's somebody's child, that's somebody's father, that's somebody's brother, baby, sister, aunt, grandmother, that's somebody's person. You know what I'm saying? Regardless on what they did. Yes, you commit a crime, you should do the time. I agree as well, but they're still human. We protect dogs that are left in a car.
Right.
Listen, I said that
Mike Vick did time for dog fighting.
Come on. And I love pets and animals. And I joke sometimes because my sister said, when you really get famous, you're able to wear your furs. And I said, girl, I love pets and animals. I said, but sometimes I do agree. We give Fluffy more love than we give our brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And I've done work with the ACLU. To me, it's disheartening to bring people home and set them up for failure. A lot of these men and women at times don't have a place to go, don't have job placement, don't know how to navigate. My brother came home after spending a good bit of his life in and out of the system.
Yeah.
And thank God, I was able to take a deep breath and say, you can stay here for this time frame. We'll help you. But not everybody has that.
Right.
That. So how can we, if we truly say that we believe in Jesus, if we truly say that we believe in, being a good person, how can we just be a good human and at this point help those that are coming home with real resources that they can actually use?
Some people don't compare. They don't look at that and compare it to that. Like they look at it as two separate things. This doesn't mean that, and you do have people, because they have an incarcerated mindset, that their mind it's not on a level that you and I, like their capabilities of understanding reality is so off.
Yeah, it depends on when they went into jail. They go in at 17, they come out at 17.
Yeah, they come out at 17. I know the story personally. And I believe that I honestly believe, and this is my personal opinion, that the reason why these facilities, the prison systems don't, they make effort to kind of rehab a little bit, but not too much. Why? Because they got to go back. And when they go back, they need heads and beds. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and so they don't do so much to fully rehab. And so now it's up to families who suffer in law and who suffer from laws, who have to come up and spend their blood, sweat, and tears, time and money to formulate these organizations that help keep their loved ones and others out of prison. But you don't have any help. There's no help.
And pound the pavement. And I think more of it's going to come by being vocal. One thing that I'm not able to do and I haven't been able to do for a while, is be quiet on certain things. I have 15-year-old boys that hang around here on the east side. A couple of them started, this summer they did selling water, and last summer selling water. And somebody said, you really got to buy all those cases of water and coolers. I'd rather them sell water than drugs.
Right.
I'd rather, if they're going to be on the corner, let's be on the corner making $1. One, I help start a landscaping company, put them in touch with other people, because at the end of the day, I know you need money. To sit up here and act like, media doesn't have an effect on people is a lie.
Yeah.
Young men, because a lot of times it is the young men that gets in trouble. I said, how can we stop that system that's in place? You're not going to be much. If you don't go to college, you don't go to the military, you're probably going to be in jail. Let's stop that. Let's stop early. Let's put things in place to make people successful. So prayerfully, that's the work that I'll be doing in my brother's honor, using, some of his ideas that he's formulated. I did make him a promise. I told him when he was in, I would publish his works. So I'm going to keep that going, because he does have children. He has children that he has to still provide for. I'm not rich yet. His legacy.
You're on your way.
Children.
What'd you say, Jerry?
Nah, when she said she was rich, I said, you will get there. The mindset that you have, motivation and dedication, it's inspiring to everybody, so.
And don't get, sorry, and don't get what she said twisted about being rich. Don't compare that to being money related.
Yeah.
Because people pay attention to success. People don't pay attention to the struggle. They want the success. They don't want to see how you got there. They want you to tell them, how do we get there? I don't want to know how you got there. Just get me to where you are. And so when she says rich, I translated that as successful, because I'm able to, now you can hear me, because you can't hear me when I'm out here on an air mattress, tripping over Christmas trees.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Selling waters on the, I
say that often, because people, they always want to know about the glory. And they never want to endure. And I told God, because I couldn't wrap my head around my 31-year-old brother laying in that box. I'm like, you're lying in this box before me. And I couldn't wrap my head around it. I said, you know what, God? People always say, I had a young woman tell me last year, she said, you have a great life. I said, sis, you don't know my life. You don't know what I post. When I post on social media, people don't post their flaws. I posted and was very open when I got divorced. I was very open about single motherhood, but y'all don't know days that I had to scrape and scrap and, repair and figure things out. We don't put that out there. I'm very open with my journey, but it has not been easy. I don't take anything for granted. I'm raising 5 children during this very real pandemic that people don't think exists by my lonely. And it gets real. And then to assume the role of doing this work, I did a workshop with the ACLU, and I was just shocked, because I was instantly put into a space, and I was like, okay, God. And the work that I was called to do for that day, I was just shocked because of hearing the horror stories that other people have to go through in these systems. Roaches, rats, no food. If we're looking on social media, you see one of the prison systems right now is being called out heavily.
Yep.
So these are real stories that, even though they're not always posted on social media, you see a person's glory, but you don't know their whole story. You don't know how they got there. So pray for them, but don't wish your life, have somebody else's life.
Shouts to, before y'all ask questions, shouts to Diane Daniel, shouts to Miss Diane. I love her. Voting is important. She said we are electing judges Thursday, general election. I'm sorry, Tuesday, not Thursday, wrong glasses. Tuesday, November 2nd, Tuesday, go out and vote. Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Our voice is important. And there are a lot of judges on the ballot. I didn't even realize that there were Republican and Democratic judges. I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Different. Your vote matters. Your vote helps put those people in place that puts little Pookie and Ray Ray behind bars.
Right.
So that's the decision between who goes to jail and who gets the rehab services that they really need. Some of this stuff even is mental health, and that's coming in 2022 too. I want to talk about that, because again, being in the church all my life, we can't Jesus everything away anymore. Some people have mental issues that need to be addressed.
So we got 5 minutes.
Power of appeal.
We got 5 minutes. Y'all go ahead, John, for question.
how has your children helped you with everything that's been going on with your nonprofit and your brother's death, and how do they keep motivated?
Now you're really about to make me cry. You were
Oh.
just gonna make me cry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Those are her heart.
Yeah.
My babies are so amazing. Oh my gosh. I'm about to
That's
fight.
all
it,
right.
Jerry.
That's all right. That's all right. Go ahead. Let it out.
My babies are so amazing. My babies are world changers. I told them from the time they were in my stomach that they were world changers. No, for real, because people don't understand. What you name your child will carry on with that child for the rest of their days. I named them, they all have 4 names, but they have names with meaning. And they are so amazing because we have been through so much. Like I said, I had 2 daughters when I first started. I was a teen mom. I had Amber in my senior year of high school with a full scholarship. I was a teen mom. Then I had another child by 21. Then I got married because that's what you're told to do in the church, get married. And then I made the choice to get divorced. So I found myself back at single motherhood. But my babies, they pray for me. They love on me. They hold me accountable. We have fun together. You know, there's sometimes Amber will be joking. That's my oldest. We'll be joking. And she's like, oh, I forget you're a young mom. I'm like, yeah, I'm still young. I still got it. I can't get it. But they're so amazing. They are my blessings. And on those days where I feel like I can't do it, my son, my only son, he'll come in, Mommy, I love you. Mommy, you're beautiful. Mama, you got this. And like I said, they do know the Lord. So they come in with the word of prayer. They come in with affirmations. They come in telling me, get it together, Ma. We got stuff to do. And I give them that space. I'm not that stay in a child's place, Mom. I let them speak freely to an extent.
Right.
And I let them tell me, Mommy, when you did this, it hurt my feelings. Or Mommy, maybe you should do it that way. But my babies, they have been amazing. We're all going, and I say this again, we're all going to therapy because we've been through a lot.
Absolutely.
So I can't dismiss their feelings, but they are oh my God, I'm so happy to see the work that they're going to do in the world. And Leah done published a book already. Amber has her own podcast, Hype Media, nonprofit organization she started. She got the Ben Carson Scholarship.
Well, they're a product of their mama.
Like, they're product of their mama. Kids. I got dope kids. I can't.
Come on, definitely. So we're at the end of the show, and we have you're definitely going to have to come back because there's so much more we want to cover. Lytia, I need you to give us not all of your handles. Can you just give us like your main?
Just Lytia S.
You got like 20. You like selling chicken boxes and church fans like
boxes. No more chicken boxes.
Chicken boxes and church fans.
No. Lytia S. Brock on all social media platforms. To connect with my music, it is Tina James with 2 N's. And then if you go on my website, www.lytiabrock.com, you'll be able to see everything. You'll be able to see all 50 jobs, all 50 organizations, everything.
Lytia Brock, BROCK. So make sure you shout her out. She is the founder of the Richardson Foundation. Please keep her and her family in your prayers and stop asking stupid questions. Stop.
Don't ask no questions. Just pray.
Stop. Just pray. just pray. It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast. I'm your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
And I'm the chatter chick, LaShawn.
And I'm y'all millennial chick, Jeer.
And Lytia, we have a chick name for you, the Lyti Chick.
Oh, Lyti Chick. I'm gonna get that on a hoodie.
She's the Lyti Chick. She's the Lyti Chick. We getting litty with the Lyti Chick. Love it. Love it.
You guys. Love your energy. Love your energy.
Find us on social media. We're on all the streaming platforms. Make sure you get at us. Listen to us every Saturday at 9:30 a.m. on Urban Media Today Radio via Live 365 and tune in. Of course, Urban Media Today Talk Sports is next. So that's why we got to get out of here. So we appreciate you, Lytia, for just coming in and just blessing us.
Thank you.
And how many wings you want, Sean? How many?
I want the
check out the menu.
$4
wings. No wings.
She wants the $5 for $1.
Meet me
turkey wings. After the revival. Oh, I done caught the spirit on that one, girl. I almost fell off my chair.
I'm about to take off running.
Ooh, about to take off running. Yes. Don't you know no good?